The final round of the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship brings us back to Silverstone, where it all began in March, and a three-way showdown for the 2018 title. Last time out at Pembrey in the sunshine of South Wales, Mark Higgins was in dramas right from the very start of the final. He went off the road and Julian Godfrey took over the race lead. He was chased by Ollie O'Donovan. Higgins tried to make his way back through the pack, but Godfrey was not to be denied. He was on target for the win in the final, and with it to set up this three-way showdown. You take drop scores into account in this championship, and with that done, Ollie O'Donovan leads by 4 points from Julian Godfrey. Mark Higgins is third.
There's three of you right in the title fight here. What are your expectations from today?
I'm really not thinking about it. I just think we need to go and have a good race, good clean race, and see what happens. We can only do our thing, and what happens behind happens behind. Yeah, it's interesting, and you know, it's quite a big grid here today as well, which opens it all up. We know the permutations, so all we can do is our best.
Julian Godfrey, you're a 5-time MSA British Rallycross champion. You're well used to being in these title fights. What are your expectations from today here at Silverstone?
I hope we have a clean run to start with. Hopefully qualify so that I'm at least on the front row of the final. That's my aims for today.
Ollie O'Donovan, you come to the final round of the MSA British Rallycross Championship here at Silverstone, leading the points. What's your strategy for this morning? It's a little bit damp out there.
It's a little bit damp at the Hall. Track is quite good though, it's not bad. They seem to have taken that layer of silt off the top. We know if it goes wet it'll be a lottery track. If it stays dry it'll be a bit of racing on it, and I'm in good form. I'm looking forward to it.
Dan Rook, welcome back to British RX. You've got this opportunity to race Ollie O'Donovan's Ford Focus here today. What are your expectations for your return?
Obviously I'd like to come in with an impact. It's not going to be easy trying to learn a new car over a day to then get up to the pace of the rest of the guys here, but yeah, I'm really quite looking forward to the event.
Here at Silverstone, there is one more championship to be resolved. It is the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship, where Mark Higgins, Dan Rook and Julian Godfrey are on the front row of the grid, ahead of Pat Duran and Ollie O'Donovan, then Mike Manning, Steve Hill and Liam Manning. 3 drivers in with a chance as the lights go green. It's between Mark Higgins, Julian Godfrey and Ollie O'Donovan. O'Donovan from the second row trying to work his way through the traffic. Dan Rook here to take points off the other two as Julian Godfrey goes wide. Rook gets up the inside, does he? No, he doesn't. He is behind the 2 drivers he's got to take points away from, and he's ahead of Ollie O'Donovan. So how do they get Ollie up the order now? On board with Dan Rook, heading across the loose section. Higgins leads. Julian Godfrey is there in second spot, and this will be enough to give Mark Higgins the championship if Ollie O'Donovan is still stuck down the order. Brake hard now as they come through turn 7. There is Pat Duran, works it, gets into the back of Dan Rook and turns him sideways and into the barriers. Dan Rook delayed, Ollie O'Donovan goes through, he gains a place, and he also goes for the Joker to get that completed on the very opening lap of the race. But there might be a bit of discussion about the Duran and Rook incident after all of that. Dan, of course, drove for Pat's team a couple of years ago to take the championship. However, right now, contact between the two, and Dan Rook falls behind Ollie O'Donovan. So really, there's very little he can do now to influence the championship outcome, because he's behind all the 3 drivers who are fighting for the points. Julian Godfrey comes down towards turn 7, and now through that right-hander. Now, where is O'Donovan? Is he getting himself up the order? Remember, he jokered early, so he's trying to pick off places. Dan Rook back ahead of him after that joker lap. Mike Manning goes out a little bit wide. Dan Rook goes through. Rook jokers, so now O'Donovan will go back ahead of him. Over the line come the race leaders. Now there through is Julian Godfrey pushing on. O'Donovan needs to be ahead of the other 2 out of all of this. Mark Higgins needs to win with Godfrey third and O'Donovan behind Julian Godfrey. And right now it is looking pretty good as far as Higgins is concerned. He comes down towards turn 7. O'Donovan through the right-hander at turn 5, and he's got a bit stuck in the traffic now, has Ollie O'Donovan, because right there ahead of him is Mike Manning. Now Mike's not concerned about a championship outcome, he wants the best result he can possibly get. Duran goes for the Joker, Higgins goes through turn 1, Mike Manning now gets the Joker lap completed, Liam chases after his father, and there over the line goes Ollie O'Donovan. He is still behind the people he needs to be ahead of, including Pat Duran, and Pat also tries to brave it out with him as they go through turn 1, and he stays ahead. Duran here is taking points away from O'Donovan. There is Dan Rook behind, so as I say, he can do nothing now to influence the championship. He's behind the drivers he needs to be ahead of. It's been great to have him back, but Ollie O'Donovan now is stuck behind Pat Duran. Mark Higgins has just gone for the Joker lap, incidentally, to serve that. Dan Rook's view here coming out of turn 5, that's the kink at 6, down towards that slippery turn 7. And ahead of him, Duran is fending off Ollie O'Donovan, keeping him at bay. They turn through now. There is Duran, O'Donovan tucked up behind him. Where does Double OD make the move? Pat Duran keeps him at bay into turn 1. O'Donovan is sideways, he brakes so late, fighting the car, but he comes out another length further back. He lost time with that late brake and a big slide. There's Higgins, the leader. He comes across the jump. Ollie O'Donovan is working hard, but the championship is ebbing away. Despite the 3 wins that O'Donovan has had at Croft and 2 at Pembrey, it looks like in the final analysis it will not be enough. Duran keeping him at bay. Here's O'Donovan trying to make the move up the inside down to turn 7. There's bodywork flapping as well now as Mark Higgins continues to hold sway up front. He starts the last lap of the race. Julian Godfrey is in 2nd position. Now, to win the championship, Julian Godfrey has got to win the race. He's not going to do so, so Mark Higgins is on target for the title with a lap to go. Dan Rook now has got the impudence to come up to attack the team governor. He's right up behind O'Donovan, whose car is ailing now with a bit of damage at the front. Mark Higgins, though, is down at turn 7 for the last time, and O'Donovan's bonnet flies up, and now he can see nothing. Just to add insult to injury, Ollie O'Donovan can't see where he's going. Now, what do I do, thinks Dan Rook? Do I pass him or leave him for the points? Mark Higgins wins at Silverstone. Mark Higgins wins the British Rallycross Championship. A brilliant drive all day, a brilliant season for a man new into the discipline this year. Mark Higgins is British Rallycross champion. He wins the final round here at Silverstone. Let's do the race results. It's Mark Higgins the winner from Julian Godfrey. Pat Duran ahead of Ollie O'Donovan, who stays ahead of Dan Rook. Steve Hill 6th with Mike and Liam Manning 7th and 8th.
A strong day from yourself and the whole Arbotech team, and a dominant drive in the final to wrap up the crown.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really good day, but it was open to anybody. You know, 3 of us could have won it. It was really close. There were so many permutations. To win a championship, I'm over the moon. It's great, and you know, massive thanks to the team, Arbotech, the college, obviously Eddie Stobbart for supporting me again. No, it's a good day today.
So to finish on the podium at the final round of the British Championship must be pretty special.
Yeah, it is. Surprised, maybe a bit lucky. I got involved when I shouldn't have got involved, but yeah, which I'm not pleased about. You know, that's racing.
Can we expect to see you do more next year?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I did this to see if I still enjoy it, and I really did. Great atmosphere, guys around me, the team's fantastic. Got a lot of respect for everyone.
At the end of the season, Mark Higgins, the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross champion. Ollie O'Donovan 2nd and Julian Godfrey in 3rd. At the end of an all-action season, Mark Higgins celebrates the British Rallycross title. Well done. More championships are on the line, nowhere more so than in the juniors. After qualifying, Marius Solberg Hansen is ahead of Morgan Root and Patrick O'Donovan. The grid for the final is formed in the championship. Luke Constantine leading brother Tom by 1 point. Marius Solberg Hansen is on pole from Tom Constantine and Morgan Root. Row 2, Patrick O'Donovan and Luke Constantine. Ben Sayer is on row 3 with James Constantine and then Christian Haeng for company. The lights go to green and we are racing. Morgan Root makes a good start. On the inside line is Marius Solberg Hansen trying to find a way through. Patrick O'Donovan on the outside and contact turns around Morgan Root. He led in and he's last out of turn 1. So poor old Morgan Root from the outside of the front row falls to last. And now onto the loose, Marius Solberg Hansen is fending off Tom Constantine. Remember, it is Luke leading Tom by a point. However, as far as Luke Constantine is concerned, he had to miss Q2, a broken sump force and engine change. That put him on the back foot through qualifying. Patrick O'Donovan leads the way, then in 2nd spot, Marius Solberg Hansen, and everybody else tries to be 3rd as they come down towards turn 7, with number 7, Tom Constantine, just ahead here. Now Tom is ahead of Luke, that's enough to give him the championship. 1 point in it, 4 victories to Tom this year, 2 to Luke, and then number 7, Tom Constantine comes through. In the green car is cousin James Constantine. And there, in number 80, is Christian Engeth out of turn 10. The leaders come out of the first corner then. 6 laps for the finals. But right now, Marius Solberg Hansen, winner at Silverstone earlier in the season, winner at Croft as well, is chasing after this man, Patrick O'Donovan. He can't win the Junior Championship because he only really joined in 2/3 of the way, or a third rather, of the way through the season. Missed the first couple of rounds, the son of Ollie O'Donovan, but he has already marked himself out as a potential champion for next year. Through turn 7 he comes. Meantime, what's left of Morgan Root's car is trying to play catch-up. A very frustrated Morgan Root, and that looks decidedly second-hand swift, doesn't it? Some go for the joker this time, including Tom Constantine. The leaders go through. Marius Solberg Hansen doing his level best to play catch-up and get onto the back of O'Donovan as they hit turn 1 now. As far as the Inter-Nissan Constantine battle is concerned, Tom still fending off the challenge of Luke and looking as though he's on target for the championship here. Havard in 5th place on the road. Ben Sayer going strongly, somebody else that's improved across the course of the season. There is Ben Sayer going onto the loose out of turn 2 and 3, up towards the jump now. So 107, Luke Constantine chasing after 7, Tom Constantine. Bits falling off Havard Eng's car, lower down in the pecking order. But right now, Tom Constantine looks like he's going to add the championship to his 4 final wins of the season. But who is going to win the final? It is a battle between Solberg Hansen and O'Donovan. This is O'Donovan's view. Comes across that loose section, and he's fending off Marius Solberg Hansen. Remember, these are all identical cars, everybody in the same Suzuki Swift. But what is not happening is that Solberg Hansen can't find a way through. Doesn't seem to have the grunt relative to O'Donovan. He can get close, but he's not able to force a way by. These 1.3 litre engine cars absolutely nose to tail coming up towards the jump. So Solberg Hansen close, but there's just no opening yet. Down they come now towards turn 5. On the outside, look, Solberg Hansen. He wants a wider line in and a tighter line out, but then there's the kink at 6. Can he force it up the inside line into turn 7? Again, a wide approach, tries to get up the inside, but he gets a face full of O'Donovan. There's no way by. Nose to tail they run now, once more. Up towards now the joker section, and O'Donovan fends him off, but he almost runs out of road there. Lots of arm twirling inside the car, as through goes Tom Constantine and Luke Constantine to jump ahead on the joker lap. It's going to be a win and a championship for Tom Constantine, who comes through to win the final round of the championship. Tom Constantine takes a 5th win and wins the championship. Brother Luke 2nd in both, and Patrick O'Donovan comes home in 3rd. So Tom Constantine moves ahead at the very end to win the MSA Junior Rallycross Championship from Luke Constantine, and it's Ben Sayer who ends the year in 3rd.
Really happy to finally get the title. You know, it feels like, well, it has been years we've been trying to get it, and just so happy that it's finally come around. But yeah, we've had a hard year. We've had quite a few wins, but quite a few not low finishes. So it's really happy to finally get it.
Yeah, so happy for my brother. It's his last year, and I'm so happy that he could win the championship this year. And I've got another 2 years, so hopefully I can win it in them years, so yeah.
Yeah, happy. I did about 6 events, I'd say, so happy to come out with 3rd. It's been a good day. Had a bit of a bad start to the day, but as the day went on, got 2 heat wins, so I was happy with that.
Here at Silverstone, it's the final round of the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship, and also the MSA Super National title on the line. Tristan Ovenden really only has to score a point in order to secure that, with the absent opposition being Paige Bellaby. He's been fastest through qualifying as well. Now, Paige Bellaby may not be here, but Dad Dave is behind the wheel of the Honda engine Lotus Exige, and it's on the middle of the front row. Tristan Ovenden is on pole, Bellaby 2nd, and Jack Thorne, Super 1600 championship leader for company. Paul Coney on row 2 with Vince Bristow, Mike Howlin on row 3 with Darren Scott, and the lights go green and we go racing. Bad start though by Mike Howlin, struggles away, and Dave Bellaby has got the advantage. Can the Clio get up the inside? No, Ovenden locks up, Bellaby goes wide at turn 1 though, and Tristan Ovenden comes through. It's a greasy circuit, and that should help the Lotus Exige. The Clio doesn't like it when it's tight and twisty and slippery to boot, and so Tristan Ovenden is ahead, but this V6 Clio is going to be a real handful on this very twisty track on a very slippery surface, and Bellaby gets up the inside line and he goes through. Jack Thorne gets squeezed in the Renault Twingo, but he's on the attack as well. First time he's raced this particular car that he only got on Monday. Now Dave Bellaby using this as a test session. They've done a few adjustments and a few improvements and developments to the Lotus, and he's here really to see whether they're working. The answer seemingly is yes, they are. Paul Coney goes for the Joker lap in the background. So Ovenden, 6 times a winner this year, champion-elect, chases after Bellaby. Up towards the first corner, there is Jack Thorne with the ever sideways, ever spectacular Vince Bristow behind in the BMW, and then Paul Coney next, having served that Joker lap. Jack Thorne could have, up until the start of the day, just about been an outside bet to win the Super National crown outright. He's ahead in Super 1600, 5 points clear of Paul Coney, and that really is the target now for Jack Thorne. He's looking at a European Championship bid next season. It would be a shame if we lost him from the British Championship circus, because Jack Thorne is another good young talent. Tristan Ovenden has gone for the Joker lap, incidentally, as you look at Coney and Darren Scott nose to tail. Vince Bristow's BMW sideways ahead, and he goes for the Joker this time. Mike Howlin there, the car dealer, going through as Jack Thorne accelerates on. There is Ovenden now, rejoining after the Joker, in behind the Renault Twingo, 2 very different sorts of Renault. The Twingo ahead of the V6 Clio, and champion-elect Tristan Ovenden comes now onto the loose. Up front though, Dave Bellaby is looking as though he might well be able to hang on to this lead even after the Joker, and there's Ovenden being oh so cautious over the jump. Lots of understeer from Jack Thorne, however, coming out of turn 5. That's the kink at 6 completed, and now the very slippy turn 7. You brake hard, you brake late, you understeer out wide. Paul Coney under attack from Darren Scott though there. Darren was on his side in qualifying, in the practice laps I should say, at the Joker lap section when he got it wrong and the car turned turtle on him. Here though, he's on the tail of Paul Coney. Onto the last lap go the leaders. Can Dave Bellaby do enough to stay ahead? Mike Howlin here, trying to also gain places. Jarek Sukovici is just ahead of him, the Polish driver, new to Super National this weekend. Paul Coney keeping at bay Darren Scott as they work their way out of the chicane. There is Bellaby. So Dave Bellaby in the Honda engine Lotus Exige. It's gone well all season in the hands of his daughter, Paige Bellaby. She is not here this weekend. She'll be back for a full season next year. So can Dad give it its first victory of the season? He's on the Joker lap. He's back onto the normal lap now, sideways, trying not to waste time, but he's ahead. Through will come Dave Bellaby to win, and it's Jack Thorne who takes second in the race. Third, Tristan Ovenden, but he is the Super National champion once more. The race results first of all, Dave Bellaby the winner from Jack Thorne. Tristan Ovenden is third, then Paul Coney from Darren Scott and Vince Bristow rounding out the top 6. Back-to-back championships for Tristan Ovenden, another great season. He wins from Jack Thorne and Paul Coney, with Jack Thorne also winning the Super 1600 title.
It was really fast this morning, but I did have to score actually, because I think Jack Thorne was still in with the shout, so we had to come and do something. Yeah, this morning was going great, and then unfortunately the rain got stronger and stronger, which hampered us a little bit, but still really pleased with the season and the thirds.
Yeah, very happy with it today. The idea of it is that in Paige's absence at this meeting, she's back next year for a full season, but we tried to take advantage of this to develop the car. Very pleased where we've ended up. We did a few tweaks and changes today, but there's nobody could answer what we put forward for them today.
Had to work hard today. Challenging conditions come in the end, but yeah, super pleased with the car, super pleased with the year. It hasn't all gone our way, but it's makes you dig deep, I guess. Many hours spent in the workshop getting ready, but yeah, very happy with the final result.